Austin. Wavepunk said it best. We've said farewell to complexity. But now the moment comes to uncover who will be joining them. Up next is GENG, Team Liquid. One moves on, one goes home.
Pack your bags, start your engines. Both squads have qualified for Worlds.
Oh no.
And off the kickoff, we get things going in an interesting fashion.
A disastrous start for Team Liquid. Straight through the kickoff, a Chronic was cheating, turn left. A slow rotation. Of course he's gonna go for the boost, doesn't expect it. And GENG, strike first.
Under these bright lights, the mistakes will cost you as Liquid concede early. And for GENG, the stat comes down to this. They win 80% of their games when they score first. And they're gonna need that stat to continue. As early on, the pressure was there, but through the backline, Noli's so good on the off-ball offense, getting the clear pack out for GENG to spread.
But I mean, if I'm honest, I have a lot of confidence in Team Liquid. They've shattered their 4-series loss streak against North America by taking down Optic, and they did it in Game 5. They clutched out. Chronic clutches out here with a shot, crossbarring out, gives it to Abjack, and we've already got a 2-0 lead.
Oh, they're one of the best teams when it comes to setting each other up, and they love the team plays combining for the pinch off the crossbar, and the follow-up's good from the third man. Team Liquid down very early, and they're gonna have to restabilize because GENG are rolling.
And it's such a good sign for GENG to start out with some team play. Statistically, they're so well-rounded, and they were against Space Station Gaming, 50% goal participation across the board. All three players on this orange side know how to pass the ball, have the chemistry, and can execute.
Liquid battling their way here through a gauntlet. They stomp out Elevate in the sweep, handle Optic Gaming on Champions Field. They know what it takes to go the distance, but against GENG, a major champion in their own right, it's gonna be tough. A minute burned here, 60 seconds off the clock, and so far a bit of fanfare. GENG up 2-0 and working through the midfield yet again.
Noli, good work in the midfield. Hovers off the backboard, trying to apply pressure against the Chronic. Liquid haven't been playing too much offense, but now they get their engines started with Oski flip reset attempt. A Chronic crashes through. Looking to start this form of possession, but immediately overturned.
And two stacking for Liquid. They were worried about that push through the corner, but immediately a takeaway as a toe plays it to the center box. Oski crashing in, and this is where GENG have to be careful. When Liquid start to get mechanical in the ceiling, towards the air, pushing the backboard, the pace kicks up, and they find those infield passes. A toe up top, looking for the double tap. It might be good, but the crash down on the backboard.
And he caused the double commit through GENG's defense. You'd think that apply a little bit of pressure, but they have equalized and stabilized, rather, in their rotations. Abjack dodges a demo. And speaking of demos, it's going to be a demolition derby for a toe. This man has the most demos in the tournament so far, 35 to his name. Looking off the backboard, Noli, pass to Abjack. It is 3-0, and we're not even at the halfway point.
Another mistake from Liquid, but the captain from GENG. Right place, right time, right leader. A 3-0 lead. We're not even halfway done.
This is why the desk talked about GENG in this environment, with this crowd supporting North America. Chronic is the lone survivor representing the US right now. And this is a lights out start in game number 1. They have got security for days. It's just about holding it down on defense.
5 shots for GENG, 5 for Liquid. It's been back and forth, but it's been all the pressure from the boys in orange. They move into the blue half. A toe trying to clear lane and will do so now. Conquering through this side is Noli. Looking for the clear, and for a moment, you start to breathe if you're Liquid, getting some presence back in the midfield. The respect certainly there against GENG. But you are looking yet again for the mechanics to step up. Liquid down by 3, and they need a goal in the next couple of moments.
And Noli already on the scoreboard with 2 assists, putting in work on the opposite side. And for me, that's another great sign from GENG as Abjack getting physical, more space. Lato returns the favor with a demo of his own, but they have got a mountain to climb. Team Liquid, 3 goals needed, under 2 minutes left.
So much trust in the back pass, but it's field. A Chronic at a 1v1, big block from Chronic.
That's off the backboard. Noli, huge clear. Abjack, right wing, shot, fires, and scores!
Big step up from the captain. Noli with a ridiculous clear. And downfield, the handoff, the security. 4-0, GENG in game 1.
Look at the speed of that counterattack, that transition. You've got Abjack creeping forward. Noli launches it on the bazooka, and it's 5-0. nothing.
It's a blistering beatdown yet again. The kickoff goes against Team Liquid, and Chronic, the only American left in the tournament, standing up for his country.
Absolutely totaled the defense of Team Liquid in game 1. This is the GENG that we saw at the Fall Major. They went to the grand finals, they took a dub, and now they won another one.
Do Liquid realize we're playing a best of 5 in the lower bracket? They're getting stomped. No one else is around, and this is the pacing that GENG bring on days like this. It's been so long since they've been in this position. They're major champions, a disappointing San Diego major, and they know what this series means. They know what the lower bracket requires. They are stepping up and absolutely dominating Liquid.
But we have seen teams come out swinging in the first game, put up a ridiculous amount of goals, but then flatten, fizzle out. Will that happen to GENG in game 2? The hardest thing in Rocket League, especially at this level, is carrying that momentum and trying to repeat the same performance. GENG double commits, they've got confidence for days.
You're more than happy to leave that double commit when you're up 6-0. You have resources to work with here,
man,
with booster burn as well. Restabilizing backboard, finally Liquid get on the board.
And this is important, under a minute left, Team Liquid. It might seem like they're not fighting for a lot, but just breaking through the defense and allowing themselves to get on the board will bring them a little bit more confidence in game 2, and that's necessary after a beatdown in game 1.
And as difficult as it is, Liquid have to find a way to block out the noise, both in-game and out. They cannot afford to get behind. Yes. Keeping pace with GENG is so crucial, but Liquid are more than capable of doing so. For GENG, it just comes down to the small things, and the team play that got them towards this point is carrying them in game 1.
And how do you not feel the pressure? You're up against the favorites right now in front of the crowd. Every goal that got scored on you 6 times in this game, you just hear the roar of Boston. And right now, they love being the evil villains, putting up 2 goals, still not enough. But they are getting warmed up, and this is what I'm talking about. Maintaining that peaking performance out of GENG will be difficult.
And building some momentum going into game 2. If game 1's a wash, so be it, but you want something on the board to show. Proof of concept for the results so far. A nice response, 2 unanswered for Liquid, but still a 4-goal deficit, under 60 to play, make it half. And that's dangerous. Potential own goal is still escape for the moment. Chronic able to get it back out to the midfield. Now foot raise, Tao in front. And it'll fall back to the corner. You're playing with your food here for Abjack, just killing time.
And you can feel a slight shift out of Team Liquid, building themselves out more, carrying the ball between each other, finding passes like this from Atoa. Chronic had pre-jumped already. Oski double commit. Final few seconds. Game 1. A shocking performance from GENG as they obliterate Liquid.
I mean, if you've seen GENG at their best, this is not surprising, but for Liquid, who are so good, for how consistent they've been in Europe, and for the practice they've had, it's a bit of a blowout, to say the least, in a very necessary game 2 coming up.
And this is a rematch all the way back in the Fall Major. If you remember, Team Liquid were the team that was closest to taking down GENG. Nobody else in that playoff bracket took them to Game 7 besides Team Liquid. And they actually got to match point first. We'll see if they can close it out as we take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay. So many replay shots, so many highlight reels from GENG. And we'll see if they can keep it going.
And it was just the spacing at midfield. Those counterattacks were easy because Noli was uncontested. Keeping skates and keeping pace alongside Liquid, it was really tough. You had to find a way to get pressure back onto the counterattacks. It didn't happen. GENG had so much space to work with, and because of it, they were successful for multiple goals.
And now the crowd, like I said, it's getting louder and louder. People are infiltrating this venue and screaming for, of course, their favorites. Game 2. Liquid, they've got all the work cut out for them as they've got to adjust, reorganize, and get themselves back on offense.
Here we go. Liquid trying to tie up this series. GENG looking to put it on match point. Best of 5 still. Best of 7's coming tomorrow. But for the moment, this lower bracket's been as tense as ever. And opening things off with a demo, an opening shot from Chronic.
Every single game, they just come out with the precise shots, the precise passes, and know how to get the work done.
And it's the chain of events, the 50, the kickoff, the demo, working together. They're cooking something nice in the kitchen from GENG. And my goodness, is it paying off early? The dividends are out, and they are wealthy.
And that's Abjack coming through. Huge assist there, setting up the team. These kickoffs, man, have been eating Team Liquid alive. The second one did work out, holding up some offensive pressure. Noli wants a double tap, and you can feel the confidence keeps on brewing for GENG as they look for more and more mechanicals.
Patience on the goal line from Abjack. He'll try to escape to the midfield for the moment, and here we go. Couple of contests that lead way forward. Point man rotates out, boost now up, Chronic getting the challenge.
Oski,
Noli the only one back, and he's able to fight off the ball. Follow up from Liquid, back shot from Oski, and that was beautiful.
And they fire back early. This isn't a 5-0 lead from GENG. They've tied it up. Team Liquid are back, and they're putting on shots.
It's the kind of response you want to see early. Equalizer coming in with under a minute burned here in game 2. All tied up, Liquid have life.
Both teams have secured a spot at the World Championship. For Team Liquid, they can secure a number 2 seed in competition with Vitality moving forward into the main event. But you've got to set your sights on this major, on Boston. From the backboard, that man, he's getting deadlier.
He overcommitted upfield for about 20 seconds, was stealing boost out of the back pockets of GENG, making it more difficult to fight through that goal line press. Great awareness from Liquid to keep pressure up on GENG off the backboard. Self-serve, misses the touch, but Chronic gonna try to play it low, back down to the ground. Oski doing his best, but will clear out one and leave it back to Liquid on the breast.
But this is starting to look like every series that we've been following along with for Team Liquid. They're setting up this offensive powerhouse, trapping the ball, winning challenges in the midfield. And for the first time in what feels like a little over a minute, GENG bounced back, but for how long? Because here they are back on the defense.
And you're starting to see the hesitation from GENG. Abjack wasn't sure how he wanted to play it down, was waiting for the initial push, looking for the 50, but here comes Liquid. Moving through the corners. A play back to Abjack. They'll track it. Into the ceiling we go. There's the clear for GENG and a necessary one.
Ato, good control. First touch allows him to set up a better 50-50 for a Chronic, but the speed from Chronic himself grabs the midfield boost, double commit. It looked like an illusion, didn't know who's gonna take the shot. Noli still keeps it in the corner. This is the best look for GENG in a while. The ball trickles out in front of the net.
Chronic's up.
Nobody was ready. A demo comes through, and Oski has Liquid's back.
As long as there's space upfield in the offensive third, Chronic's gonna move, and Noli's hunting. He's looking for bumps, he's looking for demos, making it difficult for Liquid to stack. The turtle defense won't work out this time. More pressure from Liquid towards the backboard. Oski gonna catch around one, the 1v1, and the lead for Liquid.
Look at the control from Oski. Not only do you have this great pressure applied from Ato and then a big miss from Abjack, but that first touch out of Oski, he could have fired early. He could have gone for the initial shot, but he kept it to himself, forced the goalkeeper to dive early, and saw the opening, hit his mark. Team Liquid, even after getting beaten and bruised in game number 1, they've responded.
No acquiescence when the pressure's on from Liquid. They have done a great job at responding here on Forbidden Temple. 2 minutes to go. Here comes apparently Jack.
It's over.
Top bar. A little bit wide, and here goes the follow-up. Chronic sneaks it through. I don't know how that one got in, but Liquid were unaware.
And this is a perfect follow-up. Abjack smacked it off the backboard, and look at the respect from Team Liquid. Everybody thought he was going to put it on target. 2 players dove to get the corner shot save, and it makes it that much easier for the follow-up.
The defense has been good from Liquid. It's been good from both teams off the kickoff. A little bit cleaner, meaning it on the pass. Here goes Noli, pressing forward, moving into the lane as a teammate for support. Guardian Angel flies through. More pressure for the moment. Chronic now gets his call. We'll have to work off of that back line. The clear to the midfield. Liquid are certainly up.
He faked it.
Ato trying to work through the corner. Ball jets laterally for the moment before Chronic slows it down.
I'm trying to pay attention right now for those of you watching. In the upper left and upper right corners, you can see the boost meters. It's crucial for specifically GENG to remain in control of this boost in their own half. Liquid steals so much of it, constantly taking your corners, taking the midfield against Optic. Liquid stole almost double the boost against the green wall, and they want to set that same pace for GENG.
And once GENG members start to split off the play, they're looking for that infield pass really sharply inside the goal line. Liquid doing a nice job of remembering that cadence is there. That passing will be connected. If they don't step up and put a hand on. There's a demo.
It's a 1v1.
No,
Is he gonna get the ball?
In front, he will, but Atal fights through.
And Abjack flew by the ball right underneath it. Chronic. So many assists in this tournament alone. He wants to add to that tally. Look at the 50-50s from Noli. This man, every time he's behind the ball, has been winning challenges. And that's something that you have to take note of because of the domination Oski has shown. Look at this man keep going forward. And it has been a stalemate, all tied up. Approaching 30 seconds now. 1 goal needed for both sides.
Ato gets demoed solo chal after solo from Liquid. Pulling 2 defenders off on the play, GENG trying to stack, and Chronic escapes free. A foot race into the corner. Ato's gonna meet the challenge, and he'll bump him off, but not before Noli gets a shot, hand up from Liquid.
Chronic didn't get a touch, which means it's gonna bounce off the backboard. 10 seconds, and 2 players went back from GENG. A passive approach. It works out as a trap because Liquid just give it right back into the hands of GENG. Will this ball hit the ground? 0 seconds off the ceiling. Abjack, he opts to dribble it, and this could be the start of something crazy.
Still up for Liquid. Noli has to kill it. Chronic towards the sidewall. Oski look for Ato.
He's got the reset. Denied. Into OT we go.
Our first golden goal in this match, and it's Liquid who find the kickoff, but the possession to GENG. Chronic from the side wall. We've seen this before. And does he have it? Yes. But a big stop from Liquid to keep him at bay.
And Abjack had respected Chronic's air dribble, assuming he's gonna get past 2 players. And speaking of Abjack, he just flew under the ball, which is immediately given away to Team Liquid. The OT, it started out rapid pace, quickly slowing down. Does GENG want to stabilize Ato? What's he got in store? He's got a flip reset, but Abjack has it red.
GENG are so low in boost, they can't afford to lose the sidewall pressure anymore. Oski gonna try again.
What a pass
to Chronic. And it looks good for Liquid, but a better collapse from GENG.
That looked like it was it, but Abjack, somehow the vision from this man in OT, reading the future, finding the passing lanes, but you've got to get this ball out, relieve the pressure, because Liquid are swarming. And here comes Abjack.
Abjack's the only one with boost. He's been full tank for about 14 seconds. Everybody else hunting. Liquid understand the position they're in, and GENG are just trying to survive on the orange half. Now they'll escape to the neutral zone. Chronic flips it around 1. He's got Abjack on the wing, looking for the pass, but a nice shot. Making more of an attempt there as a pop towards your teammate goes nowhere, and Ato will play it out before Oski gets the call.
An action-packed overtime as it keeps unfolding in front of us. Almost at the 2-minute mark. Ato wants to end it before we get there with a flip reset. 2 players on the backboard, of course. It's gonna get saved. 5 shots for Team Liquid, make it 6 compared to GENG's 8. And they're getting double demos. They're applying the pressure. Still not enough.
Call it lucky spawns, call it good defense. GENG still find a way to survive. Abjack downfield, the connection, the juggle. It's still alive for GENG, but a huge stop from Oski to play it down low.
The pressure has to be there for Team Liquid. Every time this ball is in your own half, the crowd gets antsy, starts to feel something moving. Will it be a goal? Will it be a mistake? Will it be an overcommit? Abjack chip over one of them. Oski, good speed. Not one team has faltered when it comes to the speed on defense.
Noli plays around 2.
2v1.
He's got Chronic in front. Yet
50.
again, Liquid stand up and get in front. A demo in the back line. Power play for the moment. Liquid need to have more up.
Demos.
Oski on the catch. Noli's gonna get there.
And this feels like a must-win for Liquid. Otherwise, you've got to get a reverse sweep against GENG. You don't want to go down and face a match point already. One mistake is all it takes to end this overtime.
Chip touches towards the backboard. Dangerous clears as well. For GENG, so much riding on this win, up 2-0 in the series. It would be massive, but for Liquid, hunting, trying to get this one even. They don't want to go down and force a reverse sweep. The crowd knows it. Abjack with no boost. A miracle.
He's still got it out.
Only a Chronic in front, and Liquid deny yet again.
And the shots have been watered down from GENG. Too weak to get through anything. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, they got bullied in game 1. They're trying to bully GENG. So many physical demos. They've got 7 in this game. Abjack from the ceiling, doesn't land on it. A Chronic has space. Where's the challenge? It's Chronic up early. Give it right back to Noli. Nobody wants to make that mistake. You can see how passive these teams are, Spaceman.
And the rest of Liquid were sitting back. They were giving him that space to breathe, but it just meant the counterattack from GENG would start a little bit earlier. Now it comes down to a timing issue. If GENG can escape and play the 1-on-2, they have a chance. But Liquid, their defense has been so stout. Here's the touch towards the back post, but it's immediately off.
As the seconds keep rising, so does the emotion, the nerves out of both teams. You can feel how tense this overtime is. We've almost played an extra game of Rocket League, just a minute out, and a Chronic needs to get this touch, keeps it to himself, still a solo play.
Huge.
Not working out. Noli, it was huge, but nobody's on the other side. They don't want to get risky, Spaceman, in a pinch down to the other field.
And he's just disrupting the rotation. That's all Noli's job is, just
that's
get
a good
in
pass.
front and make it difficult. And Jack, the captain, finds a way, a will, and a win for GENG.
The captain shoots, and he scores. What a pass out. Puts the power behind it, 84 miles per hour. And we've got ourselves a match point for GENG.
And if you're taking a look at the face cams, Noli immediately leans over and says, calm down, everybody breathe. They understand the situation they're in. Up 2-0 against a mechanical demon in Liquid. They can't afford to give him any space. And with that win in OT, their chances to move on get a little bit brighter.
And Team Liquid, they have experience on this LAN stage. They have experience now against North America and beating North America even in this tournament alone. They can bounce back and download GENG. They've had 2 games to try and dissect what exactly they're doing to dismantle their own defense. For the most part, it was better 50-50s, demo plays, everybody getting involved like we're used to seeing out of GENG. And it feels very frustrating for Team Liquid. I've seen a lot of outlets that they're going for. They've been going for demos themselves, but I think the mechanics are lacking in this department for Liquid. We need to see something a bit more creative. Maybe one flip reset we get, but nothing as unique as the team plays from GENG.
Well, when the overtime started coming down to a halt, what did Liquid decide to do? Pull 2 members back, keep 1 forward, try to play that 1-on-1. GENG matched them. They said, if you're going to play that game,
the same style,
we're going to do the same. And GENG found so much space, collapsed on the sidewall, took away opportunities from Liquid, and they found a way to just will it forward, and they beat them down over time. Liquid had to play a little bit faster.
And at that point, it felt like who could get the better clear and who could actually find somebody who would be willing to go downfield. And in that last goal, it was Chronic. He pushed out. Abjack was lurking in the midfield. And Liquid are 1 game away from going home. GENG 1 game away from moving on. And you can hear the crowd, the love for GENG to keep North America alive.
You're not going to get anything for free, Liquid. You will not be able to collect 200 and pass go. A toe upfield, looking for the pass. Connection still somehow fighting through the corner. Nobody's possession as GENG finally get it back towards the blue side. Into the midfield we go, and a redirect from a Chronic will send it on its way.
Stealing boost hasn't worked. Getting demos hasn't worked. A toe, maybe it's the solo plays that works. Pass 1, potentially pass 2, and it's not enough to get past that man, Abjack.
The captain has stepped up in this series, denying so much from Liquid and showing out, but a pass off the backboard and immediately in front, GENG destroyed.
This defense, lights out from GENG. 0 mistakes. I'm barely seeing any double commits. Communication, perfect, and that has got to allude to what we've seen on stage, the composure. Noli telling them to calm down, keeping their nerves under control. And it's showing up. Another solo player. Chronic looks to get more and more creative every time he touches the ball. But the crack is not showing in the armor for GENG.
And every time Liquid move up, they're getting met immediately by GENG. They can't afford to escape upfield freely.
Oh no,
having
Oski
to work
Chronic
overtime for touches.
Oh, and that was crazy. If you saw on the backboard, Chronic and Oski just went for a team bump, and we're kind of confused, and maybe that's a sign of where they're at right now. Mentally, not sure how to space out with their own teammates. Things have to get organized. A good demo from a toe. It's wide open. Team Liquid, start us off.
They had to break down the 3-man push. They had to find a way to get out of this chokehold. That demo secures it as 2 commit upfield. And Liquid finally have a goal on the board and a lead in this series. I should say this game, but man, the reverse sweep would be something special for GENG.
Oh yes.
Just trying to close this one out.
And if you're a Liquid fan, you can only hope that they got their act together finally. Or have GENG figured out a way to break through the defense yet again. Couple of good shots from the kickoff, but what an interception. Is this one free? Is it bouncing in front? It is, and Agganis 2-0.
So far pushed up, and Liquid jumped the gun. They cut the lane, a huge read from Agganis. And everybody else has to sit and watch. Liquid, very nice defensively, and the small adjustments going into Game 3 have paid off.
And maybe this scares GENG. I mean, they were going for a pass in the midfield, trying to utilize each other. And if you get intercepted that easily, you might back down, and that's exactly what Team Liquid want to do. It trickles out, though. Abjack, immediate response.
I mean, you work so hard if you're Liquid, and then off the kickoff, yet again another chance where GENG are capitalizing, and they run into each other, and GENG recognize the mistake. For Liquid, you work so hard, you get so far, and you take 2 steps back.
Those are the mistakes that you cannot afford to make when GENG is already on match point. Oski off the backboard. This could secure it, though. Forget about the mistake and move on. You've got the security back.
Ato was there, ready for the 50, and Liquid capitalized. A 2-goal lead. And signs of life finally. Yeah. Liquid look like Liquid.
And this might be the start for Team Liquid. Reverse sweeps. It's a best of 5, which has to favor them in this situation. Had we been on match point in a best of 7 for GENG, I don't know if I'm trusting anything in Team Liquid to battle back and truly show up. But they've still got half the game to go.
And you're gonna have to worry about those infield passes close on that offensive third from GENG. They love to cut into traffic and make it difficult to hit that read. Abjack's downfield, the rear wreck off the crossbar. Here comes Chronic, back to the midfield. Ato tried his own, and Abjack was like, all right, I'll take it back.
That was a dangerous shot from Abjack. Scary stuff. And you can't even imagine what would happen with this crowd if that one went in. And as he's looking for a demo play, so look at the read. I mean, these interceptions. Team Liquid are analyzing this play, and their vision has stepped up tenfold, it feels like.
They know exactly what GENG are trying to execute, and Liquid are making them pay for it. Nothing for free. Through the midfield, Noli trying to get around Ato. He's got Abjack in the wing, 1v1. Abjack the slow, bully your way in, big man. He can't do it, and back on our Liquid.
And he wanted to save play, just looking to force a 50-50 and hope maybe a second man was hiding behind him, lurking in the shadows. But they don't want to risk anything, and that's what I talked about earlier. You see Abjack up for a solo play. Every single time they've gone for that midfield pass outlet, they've been getting intercepted. Maybe GENG's confidence has been deflated a little bit.
Liquid just aren't finding these clears. GENG are so pushed up time and time again, holding on to possession and trying left and right for different looks. The spacing for them, but Agganis towards the backboard will get possession right back to GENG. Now we get into interesting territory. With 60 seconds to play, just trying to kill time, but GENG have to start to make their push and find one another if they want to make this realistic.
And at this point, if your confidence has been dwindling away, it doesn't matter. You're in the final minute. You have to send the whole fleet. Everybody pushes forward. All 3 members have to take risky rotations, extend out. Something is needed for GENG, or else the first step in this reverse sweep will be taken by Team Liquid.
Half a minute to go. It's up to Agganis. There's the pass to Abjack.
Not fast enough.
To the midfield, Noli was ready, but gets bumped by Agganis. There's the miss. Here comes Ato. Right on target. Big save from GENG.
And a rough showing from Chronic in the midfield. Didn't find the touch. Ato wants to extend the lead. Tried to land under it. Bit of a pogo. Didn't work out. Oski still killing time. 3 seconds remaining. And Team Liquid have got their first game in this best of 5.
I know Noli was the one saying calm down, but I think Liquid heard those comms as well. They're trying to take a breather.
Yeah.
And remember that this is only 5 games. It's still doable, one at a time, and we get ourselves to Coliseum, where Liquid have a chance to send it on its way.
Team Liquid, it takes a lot of courage to bounce back like that and to show up after not only getting destroyed in game 1, but you came so close in game 2. Those are 2 opposite sides of tilting. One is being so close to tasting the victory. Meanwhile, the other, there's not even a chance. And yet in game 3, they are resilient, relentless on the pitch, not giving up.
And those micro adjustments defensively from Liquid have paid off. They're getting in front of the passes from GENG. They're not allowing Chronic to go up individually. They're keeping Noli at bay. That off-ball offense that he was doing so well at in Game 1, in Game 2.
Yes.
He's been non-existent. It's not a negative for him, but it's promise and positives for Liquid. The fact that they've shut him down. And look at how the offense has responded for GENG, or lack thereof. They're struggling to find one another.
And you're right, the true indicator for Team Liquid, for me in my brain, is that interception out of a Chronic with the passing play from GENG. Being able to shut them down in their element, passing between each other, that's a big statement. And it might just read that Team Liquid are hungry and ready to pull off the reverse sweep, but they've got 2 more games to go. And through the kickoff, they start out with some pressure.
Got to be worried about those sharpshooters from the elbow. They can pull up from anywhere and get deadly. As Abjack plays it to himself, there's the bump to clear the back lane. Nicely done by Liquid to immediately stop the pressure.
I mean, just bullied out the way. Chronic got sucker punched in the face as he's trying to take the shot. It's got to be so frustrating. You're right there, so close with an opportunity. Noli wants to make another opportunity. Early use of the flip, and Abjack stuck in the midfield, pinch across. What's going to happen to GENG? Can they shake off that earlier loss in game number 3?
Just as Liquid have made small adjustments, now it's up to GENG to do the same. On the other side of the field, Chronic is working towards the backboard. And apparently Jack will have a Chronic to worry about as they fight for possession through the corner.
Not seeing the best mechanics out of GENG either. Game 1 and 2 looked like they were some of the best 1v1 players in the world, and now a couple of uncharacteristic whiffs on the ball, not getting the first touch. I even remember in the last game as we just unwinded in the final minute, Chronic couldn't get the touch he wanted. That's trickled into game number 4.
2 members pushing. Liquid have some. But apparently Jack has cut down so many of these shots. The opportunities just haven't been there for Liquid on the other side. Game 3 was the biggest stretch. It's been all of GENG. Both defenses really stepping up in this series at the biggest time.
It looks very panicked from GENG with that double commit off the backboard. But so, good 50, forced in front of the net. Pressure is applied. And also the follow-up, a Chronic. He sees the mistake, understands that Noli can't get behind the ball. He doesn't have enough boost. And this is exactly what we saw against the Optic. No boost to go around for the defense.
Well, that win from Atoe just forced Noli to have to restabilize and turn his car upright, burning all the boost he had as a reserve. And it allowed Liquid to find that space where a Chronic can do a Chronic things. And off the kickoff for Liquid, they are just 3 minutes away from Champions Field. The captain for GENG trying to get the offense started for GENG.
This hurts for GENG. I mean, I really think it's going to come down to transitioning as quickly as possible. If Liquid start to set up that camp in your own half, stealing boost, we're going to see the same mistake that we got out of Noli. And you can't even really call it a mistake. He was just forced into an uncomfortable situation, had to make a call. 0 boost to his name. Chronic does get a demo, though. And early transitions like this are needed. Still a 1-goal lead for Liquid.
GENG are 3-20 when conceding an opening goal during the spring split. That might tell you everything you need to know right now. As Liquid trying to add to that stat and pad it on. Through the corners yet again, it's been those long clears and a consistent one from Liquid. They haven't had a lot of trouble finding those long booming balls. That's been really the difference maker in this series. They have so much space upfield to get creative, to let the mechanics flourish, and force GENG to make a stop.
And I think all the fans of GENG are going to put up the Abjack symbol in the sky to try and light the way. Call for the captain to start to make some plays. He tied the record for the most goals in a game on LAN with the 5th goal in game number 1. But he hasn't been as loud in the following games. Can he show up yet again?
GENG have been pushed the distance this weekend. Took down Crew in 4, escaped Space Station in 5, and now trying to avoid Champions Field against Liquid. The slow play from a Chronic. Oski gets murdered on the goal line. Pushed out.
Abjack.
And Abjack trying to win a 50 to get his boys upfield.
And it's really a balancing act for Team Liquid. I mean, how do you take the boost, hold possession, without diving into early on challenges like that for Chronic? You have to find the perfect middle ground. And Atoe wants to find the perfect flip reset. Chronic still behind the ball. Things have slowed down, and it's perfect for Liquid. Approaching game number 5.
It is relentless from Liquid. GENG just trying to escape, collect their bearings back in the midfield, but a Chronic yet again cuts the play down quickly. Here comes Oski towards the ceiling. Pops it high for himself. Chronic will slow. And the huge 50 on the clear. That one's going to be wide, but it gives some signs of life for GENG. They can breathe for the moment.
And the Chronic has to dodge the corner boost, but it's fine because he'll pick up the other side. Oski trailing behind the ball. Passive approach out of Liquid, but a better read from a Chronic, even if you're playing more passive. A toe looks like a free net to shoot at, as the defense of GENG wanted to take the risk.
They take the ball away so quickly at midfield, and GENG is all the way pushed up. All three members are overcommitting.
And that started with the Chronic. He was so late to that challenge, but he read where Chronic wanted to go on the air dribble. And we have got ourselves a ball game. This looks like it's gonna trickle into game number 5. 30 seconds. Scoreless from GENG. Are we heading to Champions Field?
It's on the precipice, and 2 unanswered from Liquid would certainly say so. Time continues to dwindle away, maybe 1 for the road, but Liquid have said enough, and they've been loud about it. They have matched the pressure in midfield. They've taken away opportunities from GENG. They've shut down the counterattacks. They've moved into the offensive third and put the pressure on GENG's head. We are headed to game 5, and a reverse sweep is in the table.
Champions Field. Here we go. Team Liquid. They want the reverse sweep. They want to be the villains of North America and send them home, eliminating everybody from that region in this tournament. 1 more game to go.
Chronic is the only American player left in this tournament.
That's it.
For North America, your hopes are leaning on him.
This is it.
And
5 minutes
on the shoulder of GENG.
Everybody right now in the Boston Arena who favors GENG, and it's a lot of people. They've been getting loud for GENG. They are trembling because you see what Team Liquid are capable of. You see the snowball movement, but GENG feed off of the energy. They have been clutch in these situations before.
It's got to be annoying as ever for GENG to play against Liquid, because it's not the mechanics of Liquid that have stepped up, it's the relentlessness. It's the constant pressure that Liquid are applying. It's not pretty, it just gets the job done. And how difficult is it when you have a crowd like this against you, as Liquid have stood up, but GENG need to hear every single decibel.
Look at the noise. People yelling, people screaming. They know what's on the line. Everybody came out to Boston to see Rocket League matches like this. And we head into Champions Field.
1 5-minute match to decide it all. Loser goes home, winner keeps fighting. Noli off the kickoff, almost into the goal, but Chronic is there. Numbers are up for GENG, trying their best off of it to keep this one moving, but my goodness, early start and early pressure.
And how crucial is it for GENG to get on the board first in games 1 and 2? Right off that kickoff, firing from every angle they possibly could, put a goal in, and that's what helped them get the win and secure match point. Haven't seen the same ferocity. Abjack, crossbar it out, a toe keeps it, and it's still back in the midfield. Noli secures.
Talk your talk, Abjack. Chronic centers, Noli finishes. GENG get on the board.
There's that hot start. Same thing that happened in game number 1 and game number 2. The only difference is this is Champions Field. Forget about the past. Forget about the history of the series. This is where you start new trends. And Team Liquid, they've got what it takes, Spaceman.
This is where you see who's clutch and who isn't. Who's meant to make the run and who only comes to punch their ticket here. A minute burned in game 5. GENG find the opening push and the points to follow.
Abjack's looking for a bump.
And he finds one as well, but Chronic couldn't get up, and it was a beautiful touch from Oski to get it away.
That wasn't even the touch that Oski needed to hit. It wasn't his turn to go in rotation, but he saw the bump attempt from Abjack and bailed out his teammate. That's the defense that's kept them alive, kept them within 1 now. But how long will they survive? Noli wanted to get a dunk. Early challenge from Chronic. Look at the midfield speed. GENG have evolved in game 5.
And a toe peeled off. He was getting midfield boost, so the resources in the backline will be here for Liquid. Now it comes down to just skating alongside Abjack, trying to hold this possession and allow for your offense to push up. You got a Chronic there waiting for the pass. Nice recognition by GENG to cut it down in the corner.
Noli wants to connect with Chronic, and what a clear. It's moments like that that will separate these two teams. Being able to waste a few seconds, let your teammates get boost. Huge 50 win from Chronic, as now they've got to recover yet again. Crossbar and out, missed opportunity. Team Liquid patiently waiting for one setup that could change the tides.
Fighting through so many touches and big 50 wins. Oski plays it back.
He's got a dribble.
And Chronic leaves it on a flip, was looking for the pass to his teammate, but it just wasn't there.
This is a slow backboard defense, but Noli, thankfully in the right position. Abject just booming this from the backboard. I'd like to see them dribble a little bit more.
And look how quickly these clears are getting out for GENG. They're meeting the ball in the backboard, immediately punching downfield. What worked in game 1 and 2 is back in full form, and it's up to Liquid to respond. Chronic trying to bully his way through, held the reset for as long as possible, but GENG picking it up.
Back to the field, that was it, a toe! What was the shot? And here comes GENG, 1v1. A Chronic races back, and the hustle is there. It could have been the extension of their lead, still within 1.
Coast to coast and post to post. GENG stand up, but Liquid do as well. Just as tall. Abject, the captain, following through. Numbers in the back line. Nolu will get boost or play around it. Times it perfectly. Abject starting to rotate through the midfield. Chronic gets pulled off the play. He's going to have to play it towards the side. This is where Liquid can start to push up and keep their numbers stacked, but that's a huge clear from GENG.
These reads out of GENG, clearing it all the way down the other side. It's not only relieving pressure, it's wasting time. Abject wasting no time to put that shot on target. Saved out. One player's back. Nobody's actually there. And it's gonna be Chronic, 2-0.
Stand tall for your team. Stand taller for your country. Chronic, in the biggest moment, gives them a 2-0 lead.
1:40 to go. A Chronic was racing back. He did it before. He got there in time for the counterattack. But the second time, he's not gonna be successful. Security gained for GENG. The crowd is loving it. Team Liquid aren't. 1:28 to go.
It can all be done and set if Liquid can't find a way to break out. Chronic starting to feel himself right now in that offensive third as Atau leaves it. A Chronic, what a ridiculous touch, but it's going through the corner. Here comes Oski doing his best to keep Liquid involved, but it's been constant pressure and takeaways. These contests from GENG are so difficult to work through. No matter what you have, if you're Liquid, there's always an answer.
This is where heroes are born. Team Liquid. All 3 players in the spring split have had highlight moments. Anybody can step up, but they need to do it now. Tournament life on the line. GENG, 2-goal lead, maybe a third one if Chronic can put it on target. It was, and it's so awkward for Team Liquid.
Double commit up midfield. Uh-oh, they get burned. Can they get back in time? Yes, they will.
Backward.
Here comes Liquid. Big save from Chronic.
30
Standing
seconds.
strong on defense. And here we go. The final 30. It all comes down to this for Liquid.
They need something. This has to be a goal. It feels crucial for Team Liquid. And immediately denied. One more time. There's still a chance. A Chronic saves his flip back to the midfield, and it's read again by Chronic. But here we go. One shot, 1 goal. Team Liquid still in it.
All it takes is 1 second. As James Bond once said, it's not over until the clock hits 0 and that ball touches the ground. 11 seconds to go. Liquid pulling out all of the cards, pushing it towards center table. Now is the time to answer the call.
This could be a disaster. Let's see what happens off the kickoff of Chronic. Good speed, he wins the challenge. 6 seconds to go. Atau raised the play from the backboard, but Noli booming clear down the other end. One more chance.
Does he have enough? Oski trying to end it here. Send it to OT.
Noli.
It's still alive, but GENG looking for the kill. The dagger inside of Liquid. And of course they find it. Why wouldn't they? Chronic, North America's last hope, and GENG finally get what they wanted.
The dream is still alive for North America. Hugs all around. Clutch plays, clutch factors, everything in this was unparalleled. For GENG, it gave 5. And my word, Spaceman, Liquid have been knocked out. A team that was favored to win it all.
That is one of the toughest matches GENG are going to have to play. And your major champions in the fall not only step up, make the small adjustments. When Liquid shoots back, you respond. When they push downfield, you counter. They found a way to get it done for Liquid, top 4 in San Diego, bowing out here top 8. A disappointing result, but that's all thanks to GENG. And my goodness, does this mean the world to this crew.
I mean, what a series. There's nothing more that I would have wanted from that game, from that head-to-head. It's a repeat from the fall major. However, this was a best of 5, and GENG were the team to get to match point first. Liquid almost with the reverse sweep, and that is why it's so difficult to be in this lower bracket. The pressure is like no other, Spaceman.
And that's where you want a captain and apparently Jack to be able to lead this crew. I mean,
and even,
what better
Noli
way?
got involved in the comms and calming people down.
Noli did it in game 2, leaned over and said, look, we're up 2-0, calm down. They get a little bit dicey, things look interesting, Luke could start to make the comeback. But as Liquid made those adjustments, GENG got back to their pace, they started playing in their game, finding one another, using the space, and allowing Chronic to do Chronic things. This is what this kid was brought on this team to do. Everybody doubted the change when it happened, but it's paid off. Noli was fantastic, and apparently Jack deserves to have that captain crown. He did a hell of a job.
He deserves to have the crown right now, but it's not over yet. They've got to continue their lower bracket run. And I believe we've got none other than the man Abjack himself on the stage with Subi.
GENG turn Team Liquid into vapor and send them packing. I'm up here with apparently Jack. And Jack, how does it feel to have all of this support in the Agganis Arena behind GENG?
You guys are absolutely incredible. I have nothing else to say. You guys are probably the best crowd I've ever played in front of so far. Guys, I need your support. We need your support for the rest of this tournament. We have the only US player left in the tournament on our team. We're the only NA team here representing you guys, and we'll do a good job.
I knew that you would love those USA chants. They would really support you on that one. North America, last hope on this stage. The theme of the week for me has been emotions. And I want to know, how do you control those emotions when it looks like Team Liquid's about to pull off a reverse sweep? What do you say to the boys on the pitch?
We have complete trust in each other. You know, it's just us against the world, and that's it. You know, it sounds cringy, but it really is that. It's been that all season. You know, at the start of the season, not many teams didn't like us. We knew that we just had to trust in each other, have confidence in each other. And because we've built that up, we can keep it in these high pressure moments.
Now I don't know if you were aware, you had 5 goals in game number 1. Might be a record here in a live environment. The crowd loved it. The fans at home loved it as well. But I want to know, what surprised you most about Team Liquid? Because they showed true resolve.
Yeah, Team Liquid actually did a really good job of changing their kind of game plan halfway through the series. They were 2-0 down. They were trying to rush into our challenges. We played off that, and they started waiting really patiently for us, which, you know, Liquid, that's a testament to how strong they are as a team. But luckily, you know, anyone could win in game 5, but it was us.
Now, I'm sure you've looked at this bracket. You're aware that you guys fell into the lower bracket of this tournament. This would be the greatest lower bracket run of all time if you can get to the grand finals and take down whoever's there. What's your message to GENG fans and North America fans all around the world?
I said it at the start of this interview, we need all of your hype. I swear to God, we need all of your hype. It helps so much. It really does help. Guys, hang on. If you give us your hype, we'll give you good gameplay and we'll go far.
GENG and North America, not done yet.